are in the business of smiles, stars, likes, shares, hearts, and recommendations. Your customers are always connected, they're mobile, and when they're happy, you're happy. You're not happy. Because Cliff here isn't happy, and yet to get a response, he's progressively getting more unhappy. But what if you had Salesforce? With Salesforce, service responds the first time, thanks to an intelligent platform that easily adapts to the latest technology. So when an issue arises, you know about it. There to help at every step, delivering one-to-one conversational service with a 360-degree view of each customer, so agents are smarter and more predictive, discovering the details of every sale. Case history, marketing messages that pique the customer's interest, and suggested solutions. They're more productive, quickly connecting with technicians in the field and the customer to solve issues faster, like showing Cliff how to navigate to solutions in the customer community, even rewarding him with a discount on that line of French presses he's interested in. Now your service agent's a trailblazer, Cliff's a brand ambassador, and you watch your business grow right from your phone. Deliver faster, smarter, more personalized service with Salesforce.
Hello and welcome. My name is Mark Abramowitz, and I'm with the Service Cloud team in San Francisco. I'm going to get right to it. Two things I want you to think about as we get through the presentation today. The first is, historically, the contact center and customer service has been seen as a cost center. And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be that way, that the contact center and customer service can actually generate revenue for you. And number two, today, customers expect a high-quality customer experience, and they're willing to pay extra for it. And in fact, it's one of the key determinations as they're making buying decisions is how good is the experience and what kind of quality brand we have together. So first of all, you've probably seen this slide once or twice today, maybe 5 times today, depending on how many sessions you've been to. Only make decisions on our currently shipping product, more info on the website. So at Salesforce and in the Service Cloud world, and what inspires me are the trails that our customers are blazing around the world, whether that be Cisco in the United States or Zurich here in the UK or Australia Post down under. And it's really amazing. And what's happening is their customers are forcing them to change and demanding that they deliver amazing customer experiences. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all the trailblazers in the room, our customers, our prospects, our partners. But I also want you to thank your agents and your supervisors when you go back to your offices, because they're also customer trailblazers. And so expectations have changed already, changing really quickly about the kind of experiences your customers expect. Let me give you an example. Similar to what we would have seen in the keynote this morning, but I'm a big fan of Nest. Nest makes home thermostats that are smart, and it's an amazing experience. I just recently moved from Australia back to San Francisco, and I'm doing a lot of home improvement type work. And one of the things is I went out and I bought a Nest thermostat. As soon as you open the box, the first thing you do is you connect it to the Wi-Fi. And so right away, the thermostat knows the weather, knows the location in your house, knows things already. Number two is it's mobile. The second thing it asks you to do is to go download its mobile application. And so you never actually have to touch the thermostat. You can control everything right from your phone. It's personalized. Every month, I get an email from Nest saying, here are 3 tips of how to save money, how to be more efficient in your home, and how to actually be a bit more green. But probably the most impressive part is how intelligent the thermostat is. You don't ever have to program it. All you do is on your phone, you kind of say when you wake up, when you go to bed, what temperature you want. In a few weeks, that thermostat knows more about you and your habits than you've ever thought possible. And so that has changed my expectation and is an example of how those expectations are changing. And what I expect is this high-level, high-quality experience. But for the most part, we're falling short. We don't really think more about our negative experiences than we do about our positive experiences, because we've been focused on transactions rather than conversations. So let me give you another example. Sitting at home, maybe you're watching TV and you see a commercial, and you see a product you're interested in, and you want to go find more information to find out what the real price is, and kind of, is it really going to fit or is it really applicable? So you go on the website, you look for some information, you can't quite find what you're looking for. And so you chat, because there's a chat button, which is a great step forward. You have another transaction, if you will, with a chat agent saying, I'm looking for this product, what's the real price, what's this really going to do for me? And unfortunately, that agent can't help you either. And so they say, sort of the dreaded response is, we need you to call the contact center, here's the toll-free number. And so you call, and you say to the agent you speak to, well, I've already been having a conversation with your company. I've been on your website. Can you see what I've done? I've been chatting with one of your colleagues. Can you see what we've been talking about? And unfortunately, that agent can't, because that's a different department, or that's a different system. And so this is the example of trying to think about having sort of this conversation rather than an individual transaction. And what's holding us back, and what the issue is, even though we've been investing in tools, investing in our agents, and investing in those systems, is those systems are designed around transactions. They're not designed around conversations. And by conversation, I mean the full interaction, sort of the web, in this case, the web, the chat, and the phone call is the conversation. And they're not able to really understand that and see that. And what we need to do is we need to add intelligence. We need to make those systems smarter, and we need to make them aware of the conversations that are going on with your customers. And if we add intelligence to the systems, the agents get smarter, the customers get smarter, and those systems are much smarter too. And that's what Salesforce for Service is all about. It's the #1 intelligent customer service platform, and it's designed with conversations in mind. So it's got intelligence for smarter service. Your agents sitting there using Salesforce for Service can see the entire conversation, the entire history with that particular customer, and it makes sure that your mobile workers and your field technicians are connected to the contact center and your CRM at all times. And the types of conversations, there's lots and lots of types of conversations that your agents and your company are going to be having with your customers. Some of these conversations are high touch. Maybe there's a field service, a repair person, or a mobile worker who's going into the home to fix something, or coming into the business to fix something. That's a high touch conversation. And if you follow the spectrum all the way across to no touch is something more along the lines of self-service, or maybe a message bot. Or for instance, as I was installing that Nest thermostat, I had to figure out if it was compatible with the electricity in my current sort of, basically hole in the wall that we're going to put the thermostat into. All you have to do is you go to Nest, you go to the support site, you do a search, you find an article, you get some pictures, and you take care of that issue yourself without ever having to talk to an agent. So this is the spectrum of conversations your customers want to have with you. And it's all built on the customer success platform, which means that the sales conversation, the marketing conversation, the service conversation is all in one place right there for your agents to see and leverage. Now, a great example of a customer that is using the full solution from Salesforce is Coca-Cola. And Coca-Cola, in this case, we're talking about Coca-Cola Refreshments, which is the largest bottler in North America. And so Mark Rahia here runs sales and service, and he runs a very complex B2B operation. So if you think about the bottlers sell to businesses. They sell to hotels, to gas stations, to convenience stores, to convention centers, you name it, there's a business that they're selling through. And he came to us and he said he needs help. He wanted help to sort of redefine how his sales organization and his service organization were working together and the types of conversations they were having with their customers. Let's take a look and listen to the film and what they've been doing with Salesforce.
Every customer is the most important customer. Think about our business. We sell 1.9 billion drinks a day. Good companies have to be on the front foot. They have to understand the expectations of the modern customer, the speed they want, the data and intelligence that they want to see, the help they want with their business to grow. That means full integration with our customers. That's how we win. That's our magic.
Today, we live in fascinating times. Technology is driving immense change. And I think it's exciting that we embrace that, making certain that our customers always have good experiences.
If you think about our sales department and service departments, if you want to use old terminology, they were kind of different departments working sort of in silos. There was communication, but it wasn't fully integrated. And that was a big gap for us.
I was personally amazed when I got exposed to Service Cloud and Salesforce.
It's allowing us to have a more expansive conversation, real time with the customer.
Previously, our call center agents were just taking calls that were around issues of things that weren't working well. Today, they've been trained no different than a sales associate. They have significant information in front of them that now even allows them to create sales. So we've really brought team-based selling to life.
I can take an order, I can take a case, I can take everything. As an agent, I can handle you, Mr. Customer, your request in one-stop shop.
All the information they need is right there at their fingertips. A total 360-degree view of our customer.
So we are seeing this increase in our agent passion.
When we are able to move at a faster rate of speed, we win and our customers win. When we're able to place new equipment, we're able to quickly drive sales. It's good for the customer, it's good for us.
Something as simple as delivering a cooler. That fragmented process sometimes took months in the past. Today, with Salesforce for Service and Field Service Lightning, we get that work done in less than 72 hours.
Once it's placed, they can check immediately on the box, let the whole team know that it's there.
With the Internet of Things, we're making these devices smart and intelligent to send us data.
So our customers can then receive SMS messages around products been ordered, products on its way. It can be merchandised correctly, and we're up in business so much faster than before.
It's always about connecting with the customer. And one of the things that we know is important is personalization.
Salesforce and our Customer One platform enable us to identify the specific needs of individual customers and groups of customers.
This technology allows us to know that their business is going to spike. We give them that information and ensure that they're in stock when they need to be with the right brands. So it's taken us from a transactional relationship between Coca-Cola and a customer to a true business partnership, and they love that.
And when you really look at where we're at, our digital journey has just started. I think that the fun times are ahead of us, and Salesforce is going to be a big part of it.
So that is just pause for a second and think about that story, right? That story is dramatic in the combination of sales and service together on a single platform, driving revenue. So there's no difference for Coca-Cola about who does sales and who does service. They're all providing sales and service together. It's really dramatic. So what I want to talk about now is some of the intelligence. So when I talk to customer service executives and customer care, heads of customer care, one of the things I hear time and again is how they're struggling with data, that there's so much data coming into the contact center, coming into their customer service operation, that they don't know how to handle it. There's all this case data, there's call data, there's workforce data, there's sales data, there's all sorts of types of data, and they know that in that data, there's something useful, there's something insightful that can really transform the conversation and the relationship that they have with their customers. And so they need help. They need help, they need intelligence, they need artificial intelligence, and they need Einstein looking at that data to uncover those insights and really figure out what's going on with all that data. And artificial intelligence and data science sounds complicated. It sounds expensive. It sounds really hard. But your advantage, and the advantage is that Einstein is built right into the customer success platform. It's right there, already in the Service Cloud, looking at your data and looking for those insights. And so what happens is every one of your employees, all of your agents, all of your supervisors, all of your managers, they end up having their own data scientists there to help them find those insights and get them back to helping customers and solving their problems. When you call an agent, invariably we all have challenges in our consumer life, and we have to go talk to somebody, we have to call someone on the phone. You can hear in their voice that they want to help. They have empathy. They're in this job for the most part because they want to help people. And so you start talking to them, and you have a short conversation, the intro, and then unfortunately you get that question. It's kind of that dreaded question of, can I put you on hold? I got to go do some research. I got to go look for some information somewhere else. And you're unhappy, but you don't have a lot of time, so you really want to make sure you get your question answered. And so you do. And the question is, what are they doing while you're on hold? And what they're doing is they are logging into different systems. They're looking at spreadsheets. They're trying to figure out who you are, kind of what your relationship is with that company, what products you've bought. They're trying to understand the conversation you've already had with that company. And so those agents, they need Service Cloud Einstein. They need Service Cloud Einstein to bring together all that sales and service and marketing, all those conversations together in a single place so they can answer your question as quickly as possible. And getting the case to the right agent is also really important to avoid putting you on hold. An omni-channel supervisor, omni-channel routing is that capability within the Service Cloud. It makes sure the case gets to the right agent at the right time to avoid having to put you on hold. And managers are also struggling with data. If you think about the data that an agent has to deal with, that gets multiplied for a supervisor or a manager. And they also, their focus is how do you create an efficient and really effective operation to deliver high-quality customer conversations. And they need something like Service Wave Analytics that brings together all that data, but not only bringing it together, but bringing it together in a very visual, easy to understand, easy to make decisions with user interface that helps them really focus their agents and their operation on delivering those high-quality conversations. And so now, I'm excited and really excited to bring up David Ross and Richard Thompson from Now TV. Come on stage, guys. Let's come up here and give them a round of applause. So I'm going to guess that most of the people in the room know who Now TV are, but streaming service, television, sports, kids programming, you name it, right? And we had a few conversations the last couple of weeks. It's been really good to get to know you guys and understand a little bit about what Now TV is doing. And the growth is probably one of the most impressive things that we've talked about, and how quickly you've grown and how you've grown. And so I'd love for you to be able to share that with the audience.
Sure. So we launched Now TV.
You are. Let's introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, sorry. I'm Richard Thompson. I'm the head of customer operations for Now TV. And we launched Now TV around 5 years ago. As Mark said, it's been a pretty phenomenal growth story. We've been through starting off launching movies, rapidly launching an entertainment service, closely afterwards bringing shows like Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, 24, Billions, to name but a few.
Yeah.
And then launching our Sky Sports passes, which allowed customers for the first time to buy 24 hours of access to all of the amazing content that we have on those Sky Sports channels. So a pretty busy period for us, launching those services and making them available on a host of connected devices, as well as launching our own streaming box. So it's a pretty busy time. And I guess one of those challenges for us during that period was about how do we scale our customer service operations quickly, and how do we make sure in a world where we're delivering service over different ISP connections that we can do that consistently and get it right first time.
Yeah, it sounds like right the challenge where, as we've talked about, you didn't really own the full delivery channel, right? Different devices, different internet service providers, different telcos kind of delivering that. And so, question for you is, as you sit here now, sort of where you are in your service journey and customer service experience, I think there's people in the audience who may be looking for some wisdom, some words of wisdom, things you've learned, because I think it was pretty insightful, the conversation we had, and how you separated sort of two aspects of business one and both the technology one, and it'd be great if you could share that.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. So the first thing I would say is define what you want your customer service to be. Now, everybody says that they want to have great customer service, but what does that mean for you and for your company? Is that digital first? Is that 24/7? Is that multi-channel? Is that a service that's really personalized? Set that direction early and then follow it. Then I'd say get the right people in place. So you have the business leaders lined up who are going to help you prioritize, help you keep going towards that direction. And then make sure you've got the technical experts in place, people who are going to help you exploit the platform to the full, and then also innovate on it so you can solve some of the problems that you have. And then finally, for the platform itself. And here I'd say, actually just keep it simple. And it's surprisingly hard, but look to configure rather than code. See what you can do that's out of the box. Use it as an opportunity to standardize the processes that you have. If you can keep the platform as lean as possible, then that will allow you to be agile and also be scalable in the future.
So just to summarize, right, so two things, right, was have the end in mind. So what kind of service, what kind of customer experience are you trying to build? And then find the right platform and skills to kind of bring that together and make sure that you're able to iterate quickly, which I guess leads me to the next question is, it's not just the UK that you're streaming into, and Now TV has growth aspirations, as we all do, and so you recently entered into Ireland, right, as a new market. So interested some of those challenges and sort of how Salesforce has played into and supported as you've gone into that new market and continue to grow.
Sure. I think I'd probably build on what David said. One of the challenges of doing that was how do we continue to keep it simple? How do we make sure that we meet the demands of two different sets of stakeholders? But also, really, how do we continue to leverage the data that the platform gives us so that when we see demand in one place, we can move our resource to service those markets differently? And that's really important for keeping our operation lean and efficient.
And so, I guess lastly, from your perspective about what's happening in the industry, and particularly for your business, where do you see yourselves going from a service delivery or a customer experience perspective, and where does Salesforce play into that?
So the first thing I'd say, actually, as we look to grow into new markets, we add more products, the complexity of our business increases, then we live in a world that's increasingly data-rich. So the question becomes not do you have data about a customer and the products they're using, but actually what is the right piece of data to serve up for any given advisor, any given customer service interaction. So the challenge is almost how do you separate the noise and instead just hear what you want to hear. And then building on that, as the demands of our customers change, then the question comes back to how we communicate with them and what our channel strategy is. And how do we take conversations that we have at the moment, which are very interaction-based over chat, and how do we turn them into proper conversations that we have on a mobile messaging platform, where really we're going to the customer in the channel of their choice. We're turning it into a proper conversation in a way that's more efficient and is a happier outcome for everyone.
Fantastic. So I really appreciate David and Richard spending time with us, coming in here and helping me prepare for this. And so, not quite a subscriber, but if I lived here, I'm sure I would be. Love to cut the cable. And thanks very much. How about a round of applause?
Thank you.
So messaging, which we just heard a little bit about, I think is one of the most profound changes we're seeing in the way that we communicate. 80 billion messages are exchanged around the world every day. And so you might say, why is that? Well, I think it's really simple. One, messaging is fast, it's convenient, and it's conversational. And so an example of that is I think about how I communicate and how I communicate with my wife and how that's changed over the years. Used to be all about the phone. And it was hard, because I'd be in meetings, I'd have to step out, make a phone call, hope she'd pick up the phone. If she didn't, leave a message. She'd have to go check the message, call me back. I'd be busy in a meeting, not be able to return the phone call right away. And I think that's where that cycle or phone tag sort of starts to happen and just repeats itself. But if you think about messaging and what that experience is like, it's easy. I pull out my phone. I can, maybe a little rude, but I'm in a meeting. I can send a message to her. She sees it immediately. She can respond, I see it immediately, and we've got the full context of that conversation at all times. And so that notion of easy and instant and conversational is also the way that your customers want to communicate with you and how they want to get customer service from you. And that's one of the reasons we've built Salesforce Live Message. It turns SMS and Facebook Messenger into a customer service channel. Just like for your agents, it's just like how they're supporting email or chat today in the Service Cloud console. But you're delivering conversational support the way your customers want to interact with you. And there's a value proposition here that as you move those conversations from voice to messaging, your agents can handle 3, 4, 5, even up to 7 of those sessions at one time. And so it's just much more cost-effective than having one conversation with one customer at one time. Last year in the US, 11 million people, more than 11 million people, filed their tax returns on their phone. And Intuit is a company like Sage here in the UK that develops financial software for accounting and tax preparation. And they wanted to take advantage of the mobile revolution and the app revolution, and they built Intuit TurboTax, a mobile app to let you do your taxes. But they didn't stop there. They wanted to go a step further, and that was they wanted to provide customer support right there in the app as well. And so they partnered with us, and we've embedded a video chat, SOS two-way video chat right there in the mobile application. So as you're filling out your tax return and you've got a question about a withholding or an exemption, you can press a button. You have a real-time video conversation with an agent, an expert, and they can see what you're doing on the phone. So they can circle a spot or point out how to walk through a wizard or how to fix that problem. And that experience is amazing. In fact, the customers that use that channel for support, their Net Promoter Score was 20 points higher by using it on the phone and that video chat than it was for people calling in with those questions. We're all focused on customer retention. Customer retention, really important aspect of growing your business and turning that customer service experience or operation into a revenue generator. And what better way than retaining your customers than letting them help themselves, letting them find their answers on their own time when they want to. And that's what Community Cloud Einstein is about. It's about self-service, access to information, and solving your problem without having to pick up the phone. When you add Einstein in there, Einstein's there to help, because Einstein knows who you are, knows who your customer is, what products they've purchased. Einstein knows about the conversations that have been going on and can recommend articles, can recommend the right answer. If need be, can even escalate that case automatically. And these self-service portals and customer communities can be rolled out in days, not weeks, using Community Lightning Bolt. So now, transitioning a little bit, we're going to try and show you what some of this product looks like. And so I'm going to invite up Nalina Athiyantha, who's going to run us through a demo of Service Cloud Einstein, of SOS, as well as the customer community. Come on up.
Thank you, Mark. So I'm so excited to be here today to share the Coca-Cola story. As a marketer, I love the Coca-Cola brand. It's one of the most recognized brands in the world. But what I love about this story is most of us think of Coca-Cola as a B2C company, which it certainly is. But if you heard in the film, they sell 1.9 billion beverages a day. And that's a staggering number. And in order to run that effectively, they have a massive B2B operation in place. Coca-Cola Refreshments is the largest bottler in North America. And they're connecting sales and service on a single platform at Salesforce. And they call that Customer One. So that's what we're going to look at in this live demo. So everyone meet Laura. Laura is a store owner, and her store is called Sunrise Market. And Sunrise Market is right in the middle of Oxford Street. So summer is right around the corner, and the Central Line is more dreadful than ever. So her cold Coca-Cola beverages are flying off the shelves. So naturally, Laura wants to help her customers out and order more stock of Coca-Cola. Conveniently enough, she receives a text message from Coca-Cola updating her about her next shipment. Rather than going to a different channel, Laura is able to SMS right here to update her order of Coca-Cola. Now let's see what the agent sees when she replies to this message. Steven, the service agent at Coca-Cola, is handling loads of cases just like Laura's. And these are coming from channels like Facebook Messenger and SMS with live message. Now, when he accepts Laura's case, he has a 360-degree view of her entire business, Sunrise Market. He's able to see her order history and even able to see what her customers prefer to drink. So if you see on the bottom right, that's a wave dashboard. And what that wave dashboard is telling Steven is most of Laura's customers drink Coke Zero. So to help him optimize her order to suit her customers' needs, he suggests to her that she update her order of Coke Zero. And within the case, he can get that taken care of. And he takes her to the My Coke community to track her order. Now, Laura is very familiar with the My Coke community. This is where she pays her bills, logs service requests, and even looks for help. Now, any company can create custom branded communities just like this one with Community Lightning Bolt, and all of these communities are intelligent. Now, earlier today, Laura realized that her cooler door wasn't closing properly. This is obviously causing a huge problem because her drinks are warm and her customers are not happy. So she turns to the community to look for help. Now, Einstein is powering this intelligent community experience. So it's actually surfacing articles to her to fix the door jam based on similar browsing patterns. So she looks for an article, and this article looks correct, But this is a very urgent issue for Laura, so she wants to get this solved immediately. So she instigates a live video chat using SOS. Now, any company can actually embed customer service into their mobile apps using Salesforce snap-ins. So whether it's live video, email, or SMS, you can bring customer service in the palm of any of your customers' hands. So while Laura is dialing into the customer service rep at Coca-Cola, the customer service rep at Coca-Cola is going to be able to see everything that Laura has with her business. Now, if we switch over to the agent screen, he's able to see that Laura is going to be having an incoming call, and he's here to help her solve this order. So like we saw before, he sees her full business right here. And what's amazing is he can actually see everything that he needs to help solve Laura's problem. So ultimately, the service rep would be able to help assist Laura with her problem and help her solve this issue that's happening with the cooler. So that's how Coca-Cola is bridging the gap between sales and service and connecting everything on a single platform to provide easy, meaningful customer experiences. Back to you, Mark.
Thanks, Nalina. Great example of how Coca-Cola is bringing it all together for sales and service on a single platform. But we know that customer service doesn't only happen in the contact center. It also happens in the field, that you have mobile workers and field technicians out in the field visiting your customers. So an example, again, going back to bringing my life back into the story, moving from Australia back to San Francisco, there's a lot of appliances and sort of housework that's going on. So one of those things was that I ended up buying a house with a dishwasher that wasn't necessarily working as well as it could. And so I saw that it was a problem. I called the service provider and explained to them that dishes weren't being cleaned and there's probably something wrong with the motor. So they sent a technician out to the house. First step was the technician actually showed up on time, which is a great start. Came in, took some parts, uninstalled, took the door off, whatever they have to do. But ultimately, he came to me and said, you know what, I'm not able to fix this for you. I don't have the right parts, and it looks a lot more complicated than I first thought, which is very disappointing. And so what did that technician have to do? He still had to go. He went out to the truck, filled out his paperwork, his work order, all the details of what he wasn't able to do, and we had to then call his office and schedule another appointment. But what if, or that's one of the reasons we've built Field Service Lightning with intelligent scheduling and dispatch built right in. And the point there is to get the right technician to the right location with the right products and skills at the right time. And with a dedicated offline-first mobile application, that technician no longer has to fill out paperwork. That technician has a mobile application purpose-built for them that keeps them connected to the contact center in their CRM with knowledge, with chatter, with CRM, with their work orders, with everything that they need to be as productive as possible. But what if that dishwasher was connected? What if that dishwasher was a connected product and connected back to that service provider? And the dishwasher itself could say, hey, my motor is about to conk out, is about to break. We should be proactive and schedule a visit out to Mark's house to go fix that dishwasher. And that's really what IoT Cloud for Service lets us do. There are billions of products that are connected out there that can proactively reach out and denote their status and look for events in real time and create a proactive real-time customer experience. And with that, I'm going to ask Nalina to come right back up here, and she's going to show us field service in action. Come on back.
Thank you, Mark. I'm back. And I'm here to tell you more about the Coca-Cola story. So we just saw a little bit about Coca-Cola's B2B operation, but let's switch gears and see how Coca-Cola can leverage the Internet of Things to connect their customers, their contact center, and their field operations to deliver more proactive service experiences. So we're going to start our day in Omni Supervisor with Steven, the Coca-Cola service agent. And he starts every morning with Omni Supervisor to get a full view of his service operation. So this provides him actionable analytics and a real-time view of all of his agents' workloads and queues. And across the top, he's using Service Wave Analytics to get business insights instantly. And as he scrolls down, he can actually track what channels his agents are using to handle incoming cases. But if you look to the right, Steven is getting a bit concerned because a lot of his agents are hitting max capacity. So this means that they're overworked. Now, Steven is not just any manager, he's a considerate manager, and he's going to make himself available to handle incoming cases and help his team out. So using omni-routing, he switches the status to available, and it's routing him cases intelligently based on his skill set and expertise. So as soon as he accepts a case, he's taken to the agent console, and this agent console gives him all of the support he needs to handle a case. So he sees the customer's information, and he also sees that the source of this case is the cooler. So this is really interesting, because what this means is using the Internet of Things, the cooler actually detected an issue and escalated it to the Coca-Cola service representative without the customer even knowing. So this is something I actually wish any product could do, because not only did it find the issue itself, it also had a conversation with Einstein and deducted that the problem was a malfunction compressor. So Steven knows that Laura's store is right in the middle of Oxford Street, and she has no time to waste with a broken cooler. So he makes this a high-priority case with one click. Now, the moment that happens, Einstein actually recommends that he runs a broken cooler macro. Now, a macro is a series of activities that can take place with a single click. So what this macro does is it actually dispatches a field technician immediately and then notifies the customer, because up until now, the customer was unaware of the issue, and Coca-Cola was dealing with it in the background. So one click is done, and a field technician is out, and Laura gets a note that help is on the way. So let's meet Jen, our field technician, and see what she sees. So this is Jen, and she's our Coca-Cola field tech. And I know what you're thinking. She has an uncanny resemblance to Laura, our shop owner. But this is Jen, and she is a whole new person. So Jen uses the Field Service Lightning mobile app. And this is a dedicated offline-first app built with mobile employees in mind. And it gives them intelligent CRM in the palm of their hands. So what this app is telling her, that she has a new job at Sunrise Market. And from this app, she has all of the intelligence that Steven had on the desktop in her mobile phone. So while she's going through, she sees all the context of the case. Einstein is giving her knowledge articles to tell her how to fix the malfunction compressor. And she even sees a note from Steven letting him know where the cooler is inside of a store. So being the speedy tech that Jen is, she makes her way to Sunrise Market to save the day. Jen follows the instructions from the knowledge article to help fix the cooler for Laura, the store owner. Now, rather than dealing with loads of paperwork to actually close this case out and log the maintenance record, she's able to use her phone to scan a barcode on the side of the cooler to close the case out. So as she's scanning the barcode, she's logging this into the system, and this is the way that the whole opportunity can be logged out. So once she gets that done, she gets the customer to sign it, and just like that, the cooler is back in business. Now, unfortunately for Jen, she doesn't have very good service at Oxford Street, nor do most of us. But lucky for her, with the Field Service Lightning mobile app, there's offline mode. And what offline mode means is all of these changes that she's made are saved and will be uploaded as soon as she has service again. Now, it looks like Jen is pretty proud of herself. She's enjoying a can of Coca-Cola already, but she should be proud, because all of this proactive service that she served up with Coca-Cola allowed Laura, the business owner, to suffer no downtime. And that's the power of the Internet of Things and bringing intelligent field service in the palms of all of your mobile employees. Thank you, and back to you, Mark.
All right. Thanks, Nalina. Great job, great job. And I'd like to, Jen, Laura, thank you. And then we've got another demo genius back there, Stephen Hurst. Thanks, Stephen, for all your help this week. Great job. So, yeah, round of applause. One of the things I think we're all focused on, ourselves as well as yourselves, is growth, right? Whether you're a $1 million company looking to be a $5 million company, or a $50 million company looking to be a $100 million company, or a $500 million company trying to be a $1 billion company. And we understand the need for growth and that imperative. And we've built a platform, a customer service platform, that's there to grow with you. Whether it's serving millions of articles every day, or millions of screen pops every day, or communities with millions of members, we're there with you for any size company in any industry. And the success that you've had has been recognized. So for the 9th year in a row, Gartner has recognized Salesforce as a leader in customer engagement. But that's much more a reflection of you than it is us. It's the success you're having on the platform, the scale you're driving us through. And so again, I just want to say thank you, because this is so much more about you than it is about us. And we're coming to the end of the presentation. So in wrap-up, there's more service to be had. In case you haven't had enough service and enough intelligence throughout the day, we've got a session starting in a few minutes. All these are in Auditorium 1 with the corporate executive board around equipping the front line. We've got a customer experience session with Cisco and WorldPlay. And rounding it out, if you're still hungry for more intelligence and more Einstein, we've got a session dedicated just for Einstein. We've also got our product showcases with demos and our live message lounge. So if you want to experience two-way conversational messaging for support, check out the live message lounge. And lastly, please fill out the surveys on the way out. We take your feedback very seriously. It's how we make these events better and better every year. And finally, I just want to say thank you again for spending 40 minutes with us, and have a great rest of your day.